Landman Season 3 has a serious repair job on its hands, and near the top of that list is Ainsley Norris. If the show wants to regain the trust it lost in Season 2, Ainsley needs to wise up, not by becoming perfect or suddenly hyper-competent, but by reclaiming the intelligence, awareness, and agency that once defined her. Right now, she feels like a character the story happens to, not one who actively shapes her own path, and that's a problem Landman can't afford to ignore any longer. Ainsley was never meant to be the smartest person in the room, but she was always supposed to be one of the most perceptive. Early on, she worked because she noticed things others didn't. She sensed tension, questioned motives, and understood that the adults around her were often lying to themselves as much as they were lying to her. That quiet awareness made her feel real. Season 2 stripped that away and replaced it with confusion, passivity, and a frustrating lack of self-preservation. Season 3 has to undo that damage by letting Ainsley think again. Wising up doesn't mean turning her into a hardened cynic or a mini version of Tommy. It means allowing her to connect dots, learn from mistakes, and stop repeating the same avoidable patterns. One of the biggest frustrations with Season 2 was how often Ainsley walked into situations without any sense of caution, despite having every reason to be cautious. She tolerated disrespect, ignored obvious warning signs, and waited too long to advocate for herself. Season 3 needs to show that those experiences taught her something. The most important fix is giving Ainsley awareness before action. She can still make the wrong choice, but she should understand it's the wrong choice when she makes it. That internal conflict is what makes a character compelling. Let her hesitate. Let her acknowledge red flags, even if she doesn't yet know how to deal with them. The audience doesn't need her to always win. They need her to see. Her college storyline, in particular, needs a complete recalibration. College shouldn't be portrayed as a place that suddenly makes her clueless. It should be a testing ground where her instincts are challenged and refined. Season 3 should show Ainsley setting boundaries, even if she struggles to enforce them at first. She doesn't need to dominate every situation, but she needs to stop being written as someone who doesn't understand what's happening around her. That also means moving away from shallow conflict. Ainsley doesn't need endless interpersonal drama to grow. She needs dilemmas that force her to choose between comfort and integrity, between silence and confrontation. Let her be wrong, but let her be thoughtful about it. Another crucial step is restoring Ainsley's voice within her family. Season 2 often sidelined her in conversations that should have mattered to her. Season 3 needs to bring her back into those discussions, not as background noise, but as someone whose perspective carries weight. She's old enough to question decisions, to challenge explanations, and to express discomfort when things don't add up. Ignoring that only weakens the show's generational storytelling. Ainsley should also begin to recognize patterns, not just in her own life, but in the adults around her. She's grown up watching people justify risky decisions, deny responsibility, and mistake control for strength. Season 3 has an opportunity to show her consciously choosing not to repeat those behaviors. That kind of self-awareness doesn't make her boring. It makes her dangerous in the best way, someone who refuses to inherit dysfunction without questioning it. Importantly, wising up doesn't mean stripping her of vulnerability. Ainsley should still feel overwhelmed at times. She should still feel pressure, loneliness, and uncertainty. But vulnerability works best when it's paired with insight. A character can be scared and smart at the same time. Season 2 too often confused vulnerability with ignorance, and Season 3 has to correct that. There's also a broader thematic reason this fix matters. Ainsley represents the future of the world Landman is depicting. If she's written as incapable of understanding that world, then the show's larger questions about legacy and consequence fall flat. Season 3 needs her to be someone who sees the damage being done, socially, emotionally, morally, and has an opinion about it. Even if she doesn't yet have power, awareness is its own form of strength. Another key change should be allowing Ainsley to initiate choices rather than simply respond to events. Give her goals, even small ones. Let her decide what she wants to avoid, not just what she wants to endure. Agency doesn't require dominance, it requires intention. Season 3 should make it clear that Ainsley is no longer just reacting to her environment. She's actively shaping her place within it. This shift would also help rebalance the show's tone. Landman works best when personal stories mirror larger themes. A wiser Ainsley navigating independence, boundaries, and moral clarity could parallel the chaos unfolding at MTEX in a meaningful way. Her growth could become a quiet counterpoint to the adults making increasingly reckless choices. Ultimately, fixing Ainsley isn't about correcting a single character, it's about restoring narrative trust. When a show suddenly treats an established character as less capable than they were before, audiences feel it immediately. Season 3 has a chance to rebuild that trust by respecting Ainsley's intelligence and allowing her to evolve naturally from her experiences rather than resetting her every episode. Ainsley doesn't need to be rewritten. She needs to be remembered. Season 3 has to let her wise up, not because the plot demands it, but because the character does. She's lived through enough, seen enough, and lost enough innocence already. Pretending otherwise only weakens the story. If Landman wants its future to feel believable, it has to start by letting one of its youngest characters finally understand the world she's inheriting and decide, consciously, what she's willing to accept from it.